Okay, on this one, this question, two classes were given identical quizzes. Class A had a mean of 7.5 and a standard deviation of 0.2. Class B had a mean of 7.4 and a standard deviation of 0.4. Which class had scored better on average? So the average is the mean, right? Mean is average. So who did better? A, class A had a higher average, barely, just barely, a little bit higher average. Now, the second question, which class had a more consistent scores? Now, what does that mean, more consistent? Well, that goes to standard deviation. Here's the notes. What is the meaning of standard deviation? Standard deviation is, for all numbers in the data set, the average distance from the middle. In other words, how spread out they are. Higher standard deviation means numbers are more spread out. Lower standard deviation means the numbers are closer together. In other words, more consistent, not spread out. So more consistent means not spread out. Like you don't have people getting, 1 on the quiz and somebody else getting 15 on the quiz. And so, the average is still the middle, 7.5 or 8 or whatever. But but that's really spread out. So that's a big spread. That means spread out. You have scores really high and really low. We want them not spread out, consistent. That means we want lower standard deviation. Standard deviation is a measure of the spread. Higher standard deviation, bigger spread. Lower standard deviation, lower spread. So which one has lower? This one is lower standard deviation, right? So that means they're more consistent. They're not spread out so much. So class A also has the lower standard deviation. The scores are more consistent, more, they'd be something like, 6, 7, 8, another 8, maybe a 9, but not like 1 and 15. They'd be more consistent for class A, whereas for class B, they'd be more spread out. They have a higher standard deviation. I mean, not this far, because the standard deviation is only a little higher, but I'm being dramatic, but you get the idea. So more consistent is less spread out, not spread out, less spread out, more consistent, lower standard deviation. That is A. There we go.